Hey, it's Vanner, and you're listening to Finding Frequency. So yesterday's episode was really just off the cuff. It was really just a conversation recorded while I was walking with Francie to the kindergarten. And I just wanted to mention it again because it wasn't a conversation that was planned. And it's really how my conversations with Francie really goes. It's like anything goes, and you never know, like for sure, where things might end up going with him. He always drives conversations in these weird directions. And I guess it's probably true for any 5-year-old. But you kind of plant the seed and then he goes with it. And we get to have a lot of cool chats and experiences along the way. I just wonder if it's the same for him, if he gives it any thought. Well, I don't think he gives it any thought at the moment, but I hope that it's going to be something that he remembers, because I try and make it a daily occurrence. Marta takes over maybe once in a week, like on a Friday or whenever I have a bit of a tight morning. But I'm trying to make it our thing, our stroll to the kindergarten. And in a way, I'm also kind of grateful that we've got a kindergarten close by where it's like a really easy walk. It's just, in a way, also just a getting out of the house kind of experience. Because for the most part, I spend most of my time here, really. I'm not getting out much. We do tend to go away over the weekends and go out. But things are opening up. I mean, for the most part, I'm now walking. This is new for me, walking to the kindergarten without a mask. I don't feel comfortable going into enclosed areas without a mask, especially with not having my second shot. And apparently you have to get your second injection, and then you have to wait 2 weeks. Then you have wiggle room. I mean, I'm working off of some of the information I've read. So that is not official here in Poland yet. So I think we are not really that close. There's not a lot of people being through their second injection yet. So taking it easy in that aspect. But for now, being outside, walking without a mask is refreshing and really pretty damn cool. And as mentioned, when I go into closed areas, I just prefer wearing it because I still think we're a little bit lax. My mom let me know today that they are starting to zip things up a little bit more in South Africa. So, yeah, cross your fingers that things will accelerate, especially in the vaccine space. I'm losing my words. I saw my dear uncle from Port Elizabeth, got his first shot, which is already great. I'm just hoping that the same will become true for my parents. I'll feel much better when they've gone through that experience, including my brother, of course, as well. So what's news? Things are moving in the right direction this week. It's quieter than usual. One of my clients are knee-deep in doing all kinds of things, which allows me a little bit of wiggle room. But that being said, it also allows me to catch up with some administration work for both client and on a personal level. I'm still crossing fingers for the big project. I got some feedback today, some additional questions which I responded to, and it's looking good. I mean, I never kind of count chickens, but I'm starting to prepare for something to maybe happen. So all the positive vibes, all my friends that have been sending positive vibes, I say thank you, because I think it's kind of working. So exciting times indeed, which might play out for us for the next 2 months into something that's going to keep me really busy. And then preparing for a live stream with my friend Faye tomorrow. And it's funny, like thinking about these live streams, the one thing that it's kind of difficult to do is that I'm trying to create some kind of production quality to it. So there's kind of graphics and visuals. I'm trying to not be like this talking head thing. And it's really like a creative thing. And perhaps no one will actually notice it for now. But then the other thing that I've always kind of thought about and I wish I could master is the idea of interviews. I've mentioned before here on this podcast that I'm a huge fan of Terri Gross and just the way that she interviews people. Some people say she's, they call it softballing people, where she asks softer questions. But when I listen to her, I really feel like she's like asking some of the questions I would love to know. And I think that's one of the good traits of an interviewer. And then the other one, which is something that I need to focus more on, is that when you interview someone, it's really about creating space for that person to talk. Now, some people talk way too much, and then you have to redirect the conversation. It's ultimately thinking about the person watching or listening that you need to consider, and then making sure that you kind of scratching away at what people might know. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm there yet, but it's still interesting. I'm not running myself down. It's just something that I'm thinking about that I need to consider, because I'm so focused on all kinds of variables with this live stream. It really tests your skill set when you do it, because you hit the button, you are live. Everything is happening right there and then. With a podcast, and it's what sometimes happened with recording Finding Frequency, I'll talk a little bit and then I go, wow, I've been rambling on for 10 minutes. Like, you're not going to care about this, and I delete it. It's rare that I edit Finding Frequency. I might clean things up a little bit, the audio. I edit when I have content that I need to splice together, but I try not to edit too much. But I'm digressing, going way down the rabbit hole here. I just wanted to say that I admire people who can do a good interview and then turn that into a kind of story. And it's something that's playing in the back of my mind, a skill that I would love to master, or at least get good at. But then I've read somewhere, and I think it's a quote by someone famous, is the more you practice, the luckier you get. So practicing again tomorrow. Looking forward to that. So here's to another extraordinary day, and hope that you've had the same experience. And thanks for listening.